Ladies and gentlemen, it pains me to bring this story to your attention. Why? Because most of y'all know I'm originally from Oklahoma City. This story comes out of OKC. A freaking shame. And y'all look at this beautiful angel on my screen and y'all have to wonder, oh goodness, what happened to this baby? What did this individual do to this baby that y'all see on my screen? If you read the title, you might have an idea, but I'm going to give you some details. But before we get there, I need to give you guys a disclaimer that some of you guys might find my content controversial. The information is coming from many sources, including news websites, police articles, and courts. My video commentary is also going to have some personal opinions about the facts of this story, but I'm doing this in hopes that we can prevent this type of tragedy going forward to our children. Viewer discretion is advised, and that is your official disclaimer. Pause it right there if you need to. We're going to talk about this woman that you see on my screen. She kind of looks like she could be a mix of Freddy Krueger's mother, if he had a mother, right? Just a decrepit looking individual. Like, she just looks like she would chew through wood with a face like that. Only the devil could love a face like that. OKC, y'all are taking the L. Sorry, my original home state, but y'all are taking this L, okay? You hear me? The father of a 3-year-old girl who was found dead in a trash can. This baby was found dead in a trash can. Earlier this week, the father said his biggest regret was not being able to protect his baby girl, his daughter. I'm getting this article from KAKE.com, so thank you for the article. Kyle Nolan, who was the biological father, told KOCO he was released from jail Tuesday. Like the great Cat Williams said, Ashamanaya, I should have bought a Honda. What is it with these women continue to keep procreating with men that are in and out of jail? Like, what? Man. Kyle Nolan, the father of this 3-year-old girl who was released from jail on Tuesday, jailbird daddy. Thug dick. Released from jail on Tuesday, went home and found his daughter's body at the South Oklahoma City home. Police say that the little girl, her name is 3-year-old Riley Nolan, her body showed signs of obvious trauma. Whenever we ended up finding her, she was in a recycling bin on the side of the house. Oh my goodness. Woo. When I heard the details of what happened, I just couldn't imagine, because my main thing was I hoped that she didn't suffer, which I'm pretty sure she did. And then to hear the details and just know that she did, he said. Nolan was in jail on child neglect charges from August. Good job, Dad. He was in jail for child neglect charges. So one would have to wonder, is he culpable for this as well, for failing his daughter? How can you care so much about your kid, but you went to jail for failing your kid, and now you want somebody to, woe is me. You want to play your little the world's smallest violin and pluck your little strings and hope that somebody hears it and feels sad for your dad? Playing the world's smallest violin? He went to jail, according to this article, not my words, on child neglect charges from August. His fiancée, Janice Smith, Riley's mother, is also in jail for those charges. That's the biological father. Matter of fact, I recognize where he's at in this picture. That's actually in front of the courthouse downtown. That's downtown OKC. I'm from there, so I know it very well. She appeared in court Thursday and pled guilty. The judge sentenced her to 90 days in jail and probation and said that she hopes Riley's death will help her take steps to make changes. Wow. It took your daughter dying to make a change. Got it. Kyle Nolan said that he hopes, excuse me, Kyle Nolan, the dad, said he hopes to regain custody of his remaining children. I don't know how many children they had. He said, I'll do anything in the world for them. He said he left the children in the custody of their grandmother. Let me get grandma's face on the screen. This individual that you guys see on my screen, and I'm sorry if your smartphone probably has a crack running through it right now because you probably broke the smartphone screen on your device. That is a hard face to look at. Her name is Becky Vreeland. How awesome is that? Becky. What an amazing name. It's kind of almost as bad as Karen, right? When you say that name Karen nowadays, it just has a negative connotation to it. When you hear dead baby and then you hear Becky, that sounds like some backyard white trash stuff, don't it? Hashtag granny meth, anybody? Y'all remember when I came up with that grandpa and grandma meth? This woman literally looks like she snorts lines of coke all day, every day. Just look, she looked high as hell in that booking photo. She's sitting there looking like, what am I getting out? Guy's gonna get me an attorney? Jesus. The dad said that he believed that she could take better care of them than the biological mother and biological father. So what does that say about you, sir? But now she's in jail on suspicion of first-degree murder and child neglect. So all three of you dumbasses are in jail on child neglect, but grandma gets a murder charge. Let's find out why this beautiful angel had to suffer. The dad said, not only did I lose my little girl, I lost my mom as well. Nolan and Smith are expecting another child. She is 6 months pregnant while she's doing 90 days in jail. That is about as dumb as it gets. The judge is recommending that the couple's children and new baby be turned over to the State Department of Human Services, and I can't say that I disagree with that. I think that's probably the best thing for those children, because this family is clearly effed up. Let me see if this next article has anything that we're missing. In a statement, the Oklahoma City police said that they responded to a call at the home of Becky Ann Vreeland, who is 60 years old. She looks every bit of 80 in the face. Like somebody took a meat tenderizer to her face. 60 years old, and were told upon arrival that there was a deceased child at the residence. Officers found the body of 3-year-old Riley Nolan in a residential trash receptacle at the home. The child had obvious signs of trauma. And I look at this baby and I'm just like, what did this angel do? What did 3-year-old Riley do to deserve that? She seemed, if you just look at her picture, she looks like a very happy baby. And you would just have to wonder, like, why the hell would they do that? She has the eyes of an angel. That is flat out unacceptable. According to police, Riley had recently been in the custody of her grandmother, Vreeland. She was interviewed and charged with first-degree murder and child neglect on Wednesday. Vreeland said that she found Riley on June 18th, but didn't call police or report her death to anyone, according to the probable cause affidavit obtained by KFOR. And this is coming from today.com, this article. Grandma Meth said that she found Riley deceased in the bin and left her because she was so upset and didn't want to tell her son about the 3-year-old's death. You cannot be that level of dumb. Let me read that again. She says she found her in the trash dead, and she was so upset, worried about her own feelings, that she didn't care about her granddaughter, that it caused her to not want to go call the police, call the ambulance, call someone. You could have called Ghostbusters. They would have came out and helped. But she didn't want to tell her son that his daughter was dead. You just can't be that stupid. KFOR reported the court documents show both of Riley's siblings said that the girl was in her bed the next morning but wouldn't wake up. She had a purple bruise on her forehead, the siblings told officers according to the affidavit. The local medical examiner found 3 separate skull fractures. Let me say that again. Not 1, not 2, 3 separate skull fractures. Those are hard impacts to the head. If you ask me, she either got slammed or she got beat. That is intentional. That is definitely a murder charge, in my humble opinion. 3 separate skull fractures on the girl that were not consistent with a fall. That's 3 skull fractures. Of course not. Law enforcement did not immediately respond to them for comment. Online booking information did not show a lawyer authorized to speak on behalf of that decrepit grandmother. But I got a little bit more to say, but let me give you guys the fair uses. Let me let you look at the couple of news videos. Here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Now, for those who are watching this on the replay, if y'all would, do us a favor and please share this story. It's out of Oklahoma City. Click that thumbs up because I think that this baby needed an advocate and we need to share her story and everybody needs to hear it. So if y'all can help us by doing that, by just clicking the thumbs up. Really, really easy to do. Here we go. Let's get it.
Oklahoma City police now have told us they have arrested a Metro grandmother. Officers say her actions resulted in the death of her 3-year-old little granddaughter.
Investigators say the girl Riley Nolan was found in a garbage bin last night near a home at Southwest 149th and Western. A release from the police department says she has obvious signs of trauma on her body. The grandmother, Becky Vreeland, is in the Cleveland County Jail at this hour.
Now, Becky Vreeland is being held on a felony, child neglect, and first-degree murder complaint. News 9 is gathering more information on this story. Look for more developments on News 9 and the News 9 app throughout the day.
So for those who didn't catch that, if y'all are asking what a biological mother and biological father is, dad just got out of jail for child neglect, and mom is currently, the biological mother is currently in jail for child neglect, and she's currently 6 months pregnant. Now, the grandmother who was caring for these children is also in jail for child neglect and murder charges.
New details just into our newsroom here. A woman arrested for the murder of a young child.
So sad here. It's developing news we've been following all morning. KOCO's Audrey Goodson joins us live right now. And Audrey, you just spoke with police.
Yeah. I think the only thing missing from this story is a bathtub. There are always trash cans involved, throwing these children away like they're trash. Why even take the kids if you got to behave that way? That just makes absolutely no sense. Like, these children don't stand a chance at all.
Police say this was a very sad death, finding a 3-year-old girl in a trash receptacle at that home. Just after 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, police were called to a home on Southwest 151st Street. When officers arrived, they were told there was a deceased child at the home. Officers say that's where they found a 3-year-old girl in the trash receptacle.
Very obvious signs, the body of trauma, so this wasn't an accidental death by any means.
Police say the girl was recently in custody of a family member. That family member was arrested and then taken to police headquarters. We are not identifying that suspect until charges are made. Reporting from Oklahoma City, Audrey Goodson, KOCO 5 News.
Talk to you in a few minutes, David. Tonight, some troubling details coming out in the investigation of a Metro 3-year-old's death. The girl's grandmother's now in jail, accused of killing her granddaughter, possibly beating her to death. News 9 crime tracker Jennifer Pierce is following the investigation.
Police were called here last night after a relative found the 3-year-old girl's body in a trash can on the side of the home. That shocking discovery has neighbors asking why.
I don't understand it because, like I said, she seemed like a very hardworking grandmother, and I could hear her play with her children in the backyard.
Police say Becky Vreeland had custody of 3-year-old Riley Nolan. Vreeland was interviewed by investigators and told them Nolan was in the trash can for 3 days. She never reported it to anyone. In an affidavit, Vreeland told police she believed her granddaughter fell in the trash can and died.
For 3 days. I don't understand. Like, I would love to know how this grandmother, this alleged grandmother, spent her time for 3 days. What were you doing in those 3 days? Knowing there is a dead human child that is connected to your own DNA that you are going to be held responsible for. What were you thinking? And why did you think that you could 3 days? It would be bad for 3 minutes. This 3-year-old child did not climb into no damn trash can. That is probably one of the dumbest excuses I've ever heard. Can y'all tell me if I'm wrong? Climbed into a trash can and died. No, ma'am. No. Stupid ass.
Evidence police found Tuesday inside the Southwest Oklahoma City home pointed to another cause of death.
For whatever reason, there was some type of an attack on the child by the grandmother.
Investigators found blood in 2 areas of the home and a mark on the wall that appeared to have been made by a blunt object. Vreeland admitted to using a wooden bed leg to spank her grandchildren when they misbehaved. And the medical examiner found 3 separate wooden bed leg to spank her grandchildren when they misbehaved. Blunt object. Vreeland admitted to using a wooden bed leg to spank her grandchildren when they misbehaved.
She used a wooden piece of material to spank her grandkids when they misbehaved. So you beat the dog shit out of them. See what I'm saying? I continue to keep saying this, and I will say this again. And I know people out there understand my history. If you've listened to me before, I come from the spanking culture. I'm from the South. I understand it. And even I've talked to my parents. I've talked to my family and friends. I've talked to everybody about this. And everybody understands my stance and why I say this. If you are still spanking your children, stop doing it. It makes you a horrible parent if you can't use your mind to train a child into the way that they should go. If you can't speak to a child, reason with a child, and guide a child without putting your hands, feet, or other objects on them or beating the absolute dog shit out of them, you should not be a parent. I don't care what you're spanking them with. Stop being physical with your kids, period. It's a Neanderthal method. It doesn't work. As many people can look up and say, well, it did me good. I continue to keep telling people, and this is another teachable moment, so don't act like I don't be teaching on this channel. Here's your teachable moment. When you hit a child, it only teaches them fear. It does not teach them to respect you. They fear you because they are smaller than you and they can't stop you. That is a fear tactic. It's the same thing that they did to the slaves. Do you think the slaves respected their master? No, they were scared to run. They were scared to fight back. They were scared to rebel, right? So why the fuck would you do that to your kids? Think about this. Why don't you do it to a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old? Why don't you do it to a 20-year-old if they still live in your house? You know why you don't? Because they might kick your ass. They might fight back. They're not going to just sit there and lay down and let you beat on them and hit them with objects. You know what that sounds like? If that's the case, then it sounds like you're being a bully to a child who can't fight back, who can't speak for themselves and cannot stop you. That sounds like a bully to me. Last time I checked, if you look up bully in the dictionary, that's what spanking is equivalent to. Because you only do it to people that can't fight back. Let's keep going. Somebody tell me when I'm not speaking facts, please.
and the medical examiner found 3 separate skull fractures on the victim that were not consistent with the fall.
We'd never seen anything like any kind of violence going on.
Paul Newmark says he has seen police and DHS at his neighbor's home before, but never a crime scene.
We just would have never suspected that anything like that would happen.
I'm told there were other children inside the home. Police did not say if they were taken by DHS or placed with a relative. In Southwest Oklahoma City, Jennifer Pierce, Oklahoma's Own News 9.
And I'm familiar with that side of Oklahoma City. That's actually a pretty nice little area. Not that it even matters. I think the actions matter more than the area. And like I said, this woman is just a flat out terrible, terrible human being. It sounds like they just have bad DNA. Her son was bad. She was bad. The woman that he chose was bad. Just throw the whole family tree away. Because everybody seemed to have failed all these children, including the angel that passed away. This was absolutely senseless. And this baby, there was no level of misbehaving that a 3-year-old child can do. There's no level of nothing that she could do to deserve 3 skull fractures. There's no level of what. Let me get her picture back up here. If I can do it, let me see if I can do it. I don't know if I can rewind it. Let's see. That baby right there. There's absolutely nothing that angel could have done to deserve a piece of wood to be beat with, to be beat up, have 3 skull fractures. There's no level of misbehaving that deems that. Ma'am, you're just a horrible human being. You raised a horrible son, and your son chose a horrible wife because he probably chose his wife based on his mother, and his mother wasn't shit. Therefore, when they brought children into this world, it harmed the children. It's the mentality we need to fix. We can talk about and cry about the system all day long. The system should have did more. The system should have did a welfare check. The system should have raised these children. The system is not designed to raise our children for us. Biological mother and biological father is where that line should start, and that's where the accountability needs to be held. If you agree with me, hit that thumbs up, post it in the comment section, and tell me if I've said something that is factually inaccurate. Argue with me on things that actually make sense. But I think I'm presenting a lot of things that make a lot of sense that I think would actually help our children so they can grow up and become something great. But that is such a beautiful little baby that died in the worst way ever. And then she had nerve enough to blame it on the kid. Well, she probably jumped into the garbage. Good job, ma'am. That way to leave a legacy for your grandchild. She did it to herself. Riley, young princess, beautiful smile. R.I.P. This world failed you. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave a comment. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this story. All right? Thank you.